Hi everyone, my name is Jenny. Welcome to Star to Earth Tarot. Today we are going to bring through messages from your higher self to you. So what does your higher self want to talk to you the most currently? And what topic they want to talk about, and what messages they want to tell you. So before I start showing you the crystals, I just want to talk a little bit about what are our higher selves. So the fact that we use the word higher tends to make us think that the higher selves are better or more superior, or always judging our progress. But the truth is that our higher self is just a different point of perspective of our soul. So when we incarnated, we have 2 points of perspective. One is our physical self, the one that we are conscious about, and the other is our higher self, which can be connected to our soul. So the higher selves are wiser in a way where they can see the higher perspective, the bigger picture, as to, for example, why our soul come here, what's the purpose, like the soul's purpose, or they are more connected to things like that from the higher viewpoint. But they are not here to judge us whether we are going the right way or not. In fact, they are here to participate in our creation. So they are here to assist us, assist the physical self of whatever we want to do, whatever we want to create, wherever we want to head towards. All right, so let's see at this point in your life, what does your higher self want to tell you about? Probably from their viewpoint. How do they see your current physical life or your physical self? So we have group 1, which is the citrine. Group 2 is the dragon bloodstone. Group 3 is actually a bead from a necklace, a black stone, a black bead from a necklace that I have no idea what stone is this. And it keeps wanting to roll away, so okay. All right, so 1, 2, 3, choose tap into your intuition, take a few deep breaths, or just go with the first crystal that caught your eye. And then head down to the timestamps below to hear the message from your higher self. See you there. Group 1, if you choose the citrine, let's see what the message your higher self has for you. You get number 44, wisdom. It says psychic intuition and truth. Forbearance. Do not be deterred by the thorn amidst the roses. And origins. Remember your roots. The first message I get from your higher self is that you are very much protected. There are so many spiritual guides, angels, forces of the unseen that are guiding you or protecting you. What you are going to do on this earth is something that is big or out of your imagination, bigger than you can imagine right now, and which is why many spiritual forces or guides come to you to assist you, because what you're going to do, the steps you're going to take, and what you're going to achieve, it's very important. It's a big thing. And many of your guides are people or souls that you have met in your past lives, or as well as your ancestors. People who are connected to your root, whether it's in this life or the root of your soul. So probably people of the same soul group or your ancestors. They are guiding you. What I feel also is that you might feel a little bit of resistance towards your roots or your origins. This can manifest in examples such as not liking your own culture, like a little bit of resisting the people of your own skin, your own culture, or the culture of the family you come from. You might see that, as well as religions as well. So you might see that the practices in your family or in the place you come from, the people over there, they practice things that you disagree with, and you don't want to be connected with them. Like you feel like you don't belong there and you don't like to be associated with them. You might find cultures or countries or locations or religion, whatever it is, there are groups of people that you feel more connected to or more aligned to, which is not a problem. The problem is the resistance towards your own culture. The reason your higher self is saying this is that your roots, your ancestral roots, which include your bloodline, the people who came before you in your family, whatever the lifestyle they live with and whatever their beliefs are, no matter they are seen as right or wrong with the current perspective in the society or your current perspective, it doesn't matter whether the way they are living is right or wrong, but they provide clues to your purpose in the future. So there's a need to go back to your roots in order to know your soul's purpose or your soul's direction. So there's a sense of going back, going a little bit backwards, so that you can go forward. And I think, which is why the resistance towards looking back or resistance towards your connection to them can be a blockage for you to further step towards or understand your soul purpose, right? Because if there's an unwillingness to see or be associated with your roots, then there's a disconnection, like there's a blockage. There are clues or pieces of the puzzle that you will miss out if you don't look back into your roots. This is the main message your higher self wants to talk about. I think what you are going to do is a very, your path is quite a spiritual path. And I can understand that as well. Like when we step on the spiritual path, we start to understand religion is, for example, religion, culture, skin color, and things like that. They are more used as a factor to separate people than bringing people together, which is in which is opposing what we want as someone who subscribe to spirituality, because we want humanity to come as one. We want to subscribe to oneness instead of separation, which is very, very true. But there are clues in your roots. So no matter how much we subscribe to oneness, we also have to understand that there are uniqueness and differences between people, especially based on their bloodlines and culture. We are separated in ways that we might not want to acknowledge 100%. And there's a need to look into that in order to create more resolution. Because when you close your eyes towards that, like, okay, I don't want to look at my roots, but don't forget that they are in your genes. Your genome, your DNA originated from the same bloodline, and they define part of you, a big part of you that you don't see. It's essential to look into it because that's the reality. So if you want to make changes, you need to first look into it. Let's bring through some tarot cards to fill in the gaps or bring a bit more detail. What does the higher self want to talk about for people who choose group 1? Higher self message. I think your father line, your paternal, I thought we have another card just now. Okay, sorry, I just get one more before I start talking. Your father bloodline, paternal bloodline. Its roots, at first we were talking about origins and roots, but now it comes through a little bit more specific, where you need to look a bit more in your paternal bloodline, your father's side, because as well as masculinity. So no matter the gender you are born with, or the gender you subscribe to, it doesn't matter how we appear from the outside, but we always have masculinity and femininity in us. It's both. These are both sides in us that I would say qualities in us, and this comes through as it has to do with masculinity. So you have to, there's a masculinity wound that carries through your bloodline, and you also have it. So because there are wounds or traumas that are transgenerational. So it's actually evolution, the way evolution works in order to help survival and adaptation. So the ancestors learn, for example, weather. Okay, if the ancestors learn that during winter it's very dangerous to go out and forage, then the next, like, this knowledge will be encoded in the next generation. So the kids, the next generation will also understand that, okay, winter, no, we have to stay indoor. It's this kind of knowing. It's the same when you look at animals. How are some baby animals born to know how to swim? Like, it's somehow encoded in them, right? So it's the same thing. There are wounds in your paternal line that has to do with how they understand masculinity, about taking actions, about motivating, self-motivation, about giving, also about giving love, like what is the emotional connection between, so let me think about this. How does male or masculine, people who subscribe to the masculine side, how should they connect with their emotions? Because we tend to think that being emotional is a femininity thing, but it's not true, because emotions is something that all of us have, women or men. So it has to do with men. Maybe your father is someone who is not mature in terms of emotions, or showing emotions, or giving emotions. There's this harshness here, authority, the Emperor in reverse. We also get the King of Cups upright. So these two are very much equal. It's talking about the two sides of the same coin. A man who is emotionally very mature, openly vulnerable, understand that vulnerability is something that adds value instead of seeing it as weakness. And the Emperor who wants to be in control in a harsh way, like I have to appear hard, I have to appear strong, I cannot cry, I have to provide no matter how I feel. There's no space for feelings for the Emperor in reverse. And then Ace of Wands. And then we got Eight of Wands, the bottom of the deck. Yeah, it also has to do with your intention to do something quick, your intention to achieve something, achievement, balancing achievement and emotions. Do you do something? Do you try to achieve something without considering how you feel? It's like, I want to gain this status, I want to gain this money, I want to gain this respect, and I don't care what I put, like what I sacrifice. Like I might really hate my everyday job, but regardless of how I feel, I want to get this. So so the word I'm looking for is achievement. Yes, achievement. The attachment towards achievement. Achievement is not a bad thing, but the problem is when you ignore your emotional needs and put it below your need to achieve. Okay. I want to get 3 more cards and make it clearer. Maybe look about that, like look at how you feel when you, how does your, like examine how your father, what is your father's relationship with his career or what he creates, like his creation, his career, how does he relate with these things? Does he harshly do things because he has to, like there's this obligation, responsibility, or does he take care of how he feels at the same time? We have Knight of Rods reverse. Taking action in impatience as well, like intensely want to achieve something and just forcing something, wanting something so much, wanting to achieve something so much that you are somehow forcing it. Wanting to be in control so much that you couldn't follow the flow of life. Like I'm hearing heart bend. I don't know what it means for you, but it's like making very hard turns instead of like slowly, smoothly turning, like it's rigidity and no flow. Burden, feeling burdened and tired, and continue forward regardless. Like maybe you see yourself as someone who has to do this regardless of the burden. Harshness. There's no space for softness. There's no space to feel. So I think what's coming through here is like it's talking about your higher self wants to talk about what you need to pay attention to heal right now. Like it's like your healing theme currently is about this, your connection with your achievements and how you put achievement needs above all else and not taking care of your emotional needs. You tend to put your emotional needs aside or very close to your heart, like you don't want to let people know. It's quite a hidden need. It's not open. It's not an open need. Like for example, I want connection. I want a hug. I want someone to cook a good meal for me today because I'm so tired. These kind of things, I think it's very hard for you to ask, to request, to even admit it to yourself. And this is not just you. It's a pattern. It's a pattern in your family, especially the paternal side. So there's this imbalanced masculinity here, because masculinity is always talking about taking actions, going forward, movement, and there's imbalance here. It could manifest as inability to take actions or taking very impatient, uncalculated, harsh actions, like rash decisions. Emotions. Learn to be more in tune with how you feel. You don't have to tell others or express it to others for now, but allow yourself to feel. If there's stress, tiredness, or too much obligations, then you need to address these things. Yeah, there are too much emphasis on intellectual achievements or career achievements, or saying smart words or being very analytical, than feeling what you like, emotions, feelings. There's a discord here, imbalance. Bring through one advice for you. The advice is talking about boundaries. I think you have been pushing people away as well due to your inability to show or feel your emotions. You tend to keep people at a distance. Like you want connection, but you rather say no, or you want to be close but not too close. Like there's always a distance between you and others, and then you put up this kind of fence, pointy fence around you where people cannot come too near. But this is boundaries are healthy when we are not pushing people away. So boundaries, you can see it as just a line that defines you. So you don't, instead of some people, they have poor boundaries where they let people dictate what they have to do, but you are a little bit more the opposite, where you dictate what you want to do. You want to take quick actions. But there's a lower emphasis on connections, on things that are more, things that are softer. Maybe you have the belief that a strong man or strong person, an independent person will not need do not need others. I don't do very intimate connections with others because I'm independent. So there's a need to better understand how does healthy independence look like, and how does healthy connections look like. Like you might do a pendulum swing where you get overly attached to people on one side, and then swing to the others where you're overly independent, where you don't need other people. So swinging between these two. So this inability to connect, but not seeing the value of connections, might be what put you into this very achievement-based mindset. At first I was talking about how spiritual guides are around you and wanting to help you, right? So I think how you are right now, overly independent, or not being able to connect, not being able to be vulnerable, to be emotional. It's actually also blocking away many messages from your spirit guides. They are help. So if you see all these hands, they are trying to reach you with messages, guidance, help, but because of your energy field that is sometimes a little bit pushing energies away, you cannot receive the messages that are sent to you. There are guidance that you might miss out if you get a little bit more clear about how you feel and allow yourself to feel, you might pick up more guidance, more intuitive hits, more help. It could be tangible help as well from other people, so that you don't have to be the burden, all burdened by everything, like having to take responsibilities of everything. I think that's all I have for you, Group 1. Thank you very much for listening. I hope the messages make sense to you. I post regularly on Instagram. It's at star_2_earth. You may follow me there. If you like the video or you find that you resonated with my messages, you can click like and subscribe. As well as, please feel free to comment below. I would always like to hear from you. Thank you very much, Group 1. See you. Hi, Group 2. If you choose the Dragon Bloodstone, let's see what the message that your higher self wants to talk to you about. Okay, the first message I get is that if you have been having sleepless nights recently, even nightmares, that you couldn't sleep well, or you just couldn't sleep, insomnia, your higher self wants you to know that this is actually has less to do with your health, your physical body health, but more to do with a spiritual upgrade and an ascension of your understanding of your spirituality, of your understanding of the universe. There are things, messages that are coming into you when you're having these sleep issues, sleep problems. And these messages or these downloads, they are not comprehensible for our physical self, our human self. We might not understand what's going on, or we might even start to think that are we sick that we couldn't sleep? But it's actually it's like a portal opening, especially at your third eye. There's a downloading of messages and upgrading of consciousness that's happening and that's causing you to have problems going to sleep or being overly tired. So it could be any problems relating to sleep, overly tired or always sleepy or couldn't sleep, waking up in the middle of the night, like intermittent sleep, whatever it is, whatever you're experiencing, it's a download, it's an effect of ascension. So if you are watching this currently, which is when I am recording this is January of 2022, we are going through a big ascension of consciousness in mankind as well as the earth. So the earth is being upgraded, the planet Gaia is being upgraded with universal consciousness, and mankind are also being upgraded at the same time. So these are high frequency light languages or high frequency messages that's opening us up to the awareness that's out of what we usually can comprehend. So this is what is happening. So it's more, your higher self wants you to not to worry about this. Have a more accepting attitude towards it. Like, I know that my body, my consciousness is downloading something that will help you, that will help me to help my soul navigate this life. So I receive it. Just be in this receiving mode, open-handed receiving mode to take. Because when you are in the mode of wondering, why can't I sleep, forcing yourself to sleep, or questioning yourself, why am I so tired even though I've slept for 10 hours? All these are resisting. It's a closed-handed position because you are holding things tight. You are like, why am I this way? I shouldn't be this way. There's resistance here, so there's a need for you to relax into it so that you can receive better. Let's get some tarot cards to see more detail, if you can get more detail. There might be moments of confusion, like you might be someone who was always clear about say spiritual lessons or the path you're going, like someone who's always sure with your career or your life decisions, and suddenly you feel super confused, like as if what is right for you is no longer clear. You get confused about your truth. Do not worry about that. It's a temporary thing. As your consciousness downloads more messages and information, you need to get used to it. There's a grace period for you to get used to it. It's like being stretched wider, and it feels weird when you first got stretched wider, and you just need some time to get used to it. So don't feel like you are going backwards, or it's like suddenly I lose my path. It's not like that. It's just a temporary adjustment. What does the higher self want to tell group 2? Yeah, a lack of clarity. We get Ace of Swords in reverse. It's a moment of confusion for you right now. Okay. 9 of Swords in reverse. This always comes up as sleepless night, worriness, insomnia, having too many thoughts swirling in your mind. Your third eye is being open, stretched open. There's a alignment mechanism going on where what is previously out of alignment is now brought into alignment, so it's going to take some time. And it might feel uncomfortable. We get the world in reverse as well. I was telling you our world is ascending right now. There's a destabilization happening. You might have thoughts about the past. I think a lot of past memories comes up when you have this problem sleeping. It might come through as nightmares as well. Past memories, past regrets, childhood memories even. Wow, 9 of Swords twice. I think this is not just happened in these few days. It has been going through for a while, going on for a while, maybe 1 or 2 months, maybe 1 month. Okay, there's one. I was talking about childhood memories just now, and there are even messages or memories about your childhood as early as being an infant. Maybe you will get flashes of memory of when you were born, how you got detached from your mother's body, the birth process even. And it's also possible regarding the breastfeeding experience and the pain of being weaned off breastfeeding from your mother. They might come as flashes. It should be. It's possible that it's not as clear as I spoke about. It might be something that's like blurry, or you have dreams, and then when you woke up, it's like, what did I just dream of my birth process? And then if you don't pay deeper attention, you might just forget it quite instantly. The third eye is our guidance, our inner guidance. So your inner guidance is being stretched open. You're coming into the energy of taming what you get, taming the bad experience you have been having. When I say taming, I mean being friends with the bad memories, being friends with how you feel, the worriness, the anxiety, like being friends with them, meaning to understand them. Why does this memory crop up? Why I have anxiousness with no reason? It's a prompt for you to look deeper. This experience, it's prompting you to look deeper. There might be also connections that friendships, relationships, I think friendships or family relationships that are being broken. There are conflicts and things that you find unresolvable, like previously it's all good and now it's been broken. There's a feeling of like scattered. We are no longer together. Even friendships, we're no longer connected. The bond is like being scattered. Your higher self want to say that these are symptoms of ascension, symptoms of the opening of the third eye portal. You are going to gain a little bit more of intuitive powers that you always have but innate in you, or if you are already conscious about it, by your clairvoyance ability, they are going to ascend to a higher level, more intuitive, more psychic, more inner knowing. It's going to ascend. But your higher self want to say these are all effects of this opening. So it comes as a consolation, a comforting message, because you might be wondering, are you going crazy? I've been sleeping 2 hours per night and I keep having this crazy worriness, and then I start dreaming about my thought process and all the memories that I shouldn't remember. I feel like I'm going crazy. But the higher self is telling you, don't worry. It's a sign. It's a good sign. It's a good sign. We get the number 3 being emphasized here, and I'm not sure why, so I want to get one card to clarify what's the number 3 trying to say here. Number 3. You might be saying 333 anywhere you look. And I'm hearing it makes you really feel like you're going crazy. Yeah. Transform. You are going through a transformation, a big one. Emerge with beauty and grace from your cocoon. I think you are almost going to emerge. Imagine the butterfly. It has to go from a pupa to a butterfly. The process is not easy. It can be painful, but you will emerge better. Wish. You can actually decide who you want to be once you emerge. It's a time for you to visualize who you want to be. Make wishes. You don't have to actively manifest it, but just with your vision. Like have a vision board. Like if you couldn't sleep at night, just get up and write some wishes, hopes, your vision board. Who you want to be once you emerge from the cocoon. What color of butterfly you want to be. What's the spots on your wings you want them to look like. Who is the new you? Set intentions for the new you. I think that's what the tree is talking about, because tree is about creation. You are invited by a higher self to participate in this creative process to create the new butterfly you are going to be. You are invited to this creation process. It's like, okay, I know you are feeling really worried. You feel like you're going crazy, but calm down, chill. Now we are going to go to our vision board and design who we want to be next. Isn't this exciting? Super exciting. If you can be whoever you want to be, if you can have the qualities, whatever it is that you really want, what are they? Can be anything. The possibilities are big, endless possibilities. Okay, one advice card. Wow. Gosh. Transformation again. Give me chills. There's an upgrading happening in a very deep level, cellular level of transformation. And that's why you're getting these physical symptoms that you don't quite understand. Because we usually associate physical symptoms with illness, right? It's very quick for us to say, oh, I might be sick, I might get COVID, or, that's very easy to jump into the fear. And I'm not trying to judge that you are fearful. What I mean to say is it's very easy for us to feel worry about our own body, because when we don't understand something, we feel worried, we feel scared. That's the most normal human response we can get. But your higher self is coming through to tell you that you are up-leveling. There's nothing negative about this, but everything positive. Things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing. There are healing happening as well. It's not only that, I think the memories that you have been brought to see are meant to heal you as well. When you get conscious about things that you felt painful, it's the first step towards healing it. So your consciousness is really helping you to get in more alignment with your soul. This is very powerful, group 2. Get to your vision board. Do not worry about now, but think about what you want to be next. The future, look towards the future, because you are going to emerge. All right, group 2, that is all I have for you. I post quite regularly on Instagram, so you may follow me there. The account is down below. And if you find this reading resonates with you, please click like and subscribe. I really appreciate that. And if you want to leave a comment, please interact with me, because I really appreciate. I would love to hear from you. All right, thank you so much for listening. Goodbye. See you again. Hi, group 3. If you choose this round black stone, let's see what does your higher self wants to tell you about. Empowerment, adventure, what is it that you always wanted to do, to go on an adventure? Your higher self is asking you, your higher self is calling you to an adventure. There's a feeling of lightness here, like you actually can achieve this life of no extra baggages and just go. Find a unicorn and go on an adventure. That's essentially what they are trying to say. I think this is a desire that you, even your conscious self, your physical self is conscious about. You have been dreaming of going on a free, wild, free, a lot of freedom, like just do what you want to do. Explore where you want to explore. You have been wanting this for a long time. Your higher self is trying to remind you that you have this dream, remember? Okay. Let's get some tarot cards to fill in the gaps. You have all the resources to go on, to live this life of freedom you have always wanted. So why are you not doing it yet? Comes as a question. So what does the higher self of group 3 want to tell them? You owe it to yourself, it's saying. Okay. Okay. The reason you're not doing this adventurous thing that you want to do or explore new life that you have always wanted, it's because you don't want to mess up an equilibrium that you are having in your life. It could be with other people. There are relationships involved. It could be family relationships or career as well, like things that you feel like it's your part of the responsibility. You don't want to mess it up, or you don't want to give it to other people. If you want to go live this adventure, you can't take this responsibility further. You cannot continue in this responsibility, and therefore you are going to tip the scale. So other people will have to take your responsibility, and you don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want to tip the scale to cause a conflict or cause. So the conflict is not something that is going to happen for sure. It's more like it's in your mind, because right now everything is in balance. I do this, they do that. It's all okay, in peace, balance, harmonious. So if I just say, actually I want freedom, what happened to this scale? The balance will be destroyed, and you don't want to see that. I feel like you might have emphasized Libra in your chart, or fourth house or Libra. These people, many of these are people. It could be bosses, partners, father, parents, essentially. People who have told you, like, make it ingrained in your brain that you shouldn't just, if you just leave a responsibility, that's horrible. It's a terrible person, a terrible worker, a terrible daughter, a terrible son, a terrible spouse, a terrible mother, a terrible father. Roles that have been tying you up. But the thing is, you are extremely tired of all this. There are responsibilities and commitments that you never want. Actually, you might took them because you didn't know better initially or previously, but now you realize that you actually do not want them. You have realized this for a while. They are holding you back. You don't want responsibilities like this. You don't want to take responsibility that they are not aligned with you. You realize that these are not things that you actually want. You never asked for these things. They just came to you, and then you took it as a way of accepting, as a way of not wanting to tip the balance again, as a way of, it could be also pleasing other people, maintaining harmony in relationship, to do what people ask you to do so that you don't upset them, no matter what it is. You have not been taking these responsibilities as your free will. It's not what you really want. You realize that you want to go and live your own life. It's coming through very strongly to want to live your own life. So your higher self is asking you, why are you not doing it yet? Okay. Control. I see a lot of control, like people telling you how you should live. An authority figure. It could be male. It could be for many of you, it's a male figure that are in the authority position, or it could be that they are not seeing themselves as an authority figure, but you see them as an authority. Like they have been always dictating your life, and you let them, and so now they are, whatever they say, you see it as a must do that because they are the authority. Or they could be real authority figure like a boss or parents. Okay. The Tower is at the back of the deck, and this always talk about a foundation that you built hasn't been strong and it's not stable. A foundation is not stable, and then you started building something, and now it's tumbling down because the root hasn't been the strongest. There's something lacking that you hasn't noticed it when you build it. Now it's all tumbling down. Something is crumbling. Five of Rods. See how many people are involved here. They're telling you all different things, but none of them are telling you none of them are saying what you really want. They are just projecting their own ideas on you. You have been pulled to all directions. If you are a Libra, this is very, very typical for a Libra to be pulled to different sides in order to maintain harmony. They like to sacrifice their own wants and needs because to maintain harmony. Ten of Pentacles in reverse. It comes below this balance I was talking about. So for a lot of you, I get it's like a family construct. If you are already in a committed relationship, then it's a partner, a husband, your spouse. Like how the family dynamic is working right now. It could be dysfunctional in a way, but on the surface, it looks quite balanced. So I don't want to destroy this balance, even though I'm extremely unhappy. So what it's trying to say is that this balance image you are seeing is not real. It's your own imagination. I don't mean to say you're imagining things. What I mean is like you perceive this image as very balanced and you don't want to tip it. It's because it's a fear of change, right? Because we don't know if after we change it, what will happen. Will we get to a harmony, or will everything be destroyed? So we rather stay in the current situation, even though it's not the best. So it's this kind of tolerating, I think it has to do with family. Anything that makes you feel safe or feel belong, even though you are not happy again. Feeling belong or feeling being cared for, being provided for, having a roof above, feel a little bit of safety, construct of home, even though it's not the real, true, perfect home you want. It's like an image of home that you would rather stay with than destroying it. Yeah, there's a blockage for you to move forward. This is in reverse, the Knight of Rods. Blockage for you to do, to make changes that you run it in your mind, I think. You have a lot of images of, if I am free, I would do this, that. If I'm free, I would travel here and there. If I'm free, I would just, take a car and drive, visit places and stay however long I want. This kind of, I think you have all these dreams in you, but there's an inability to do it. It's blocked. But the fact that you have been thinking about it for 100 times a day, your spirit guide is coming to, not your spirit guide, your higher self is coming to ask you, hey, you have been thinking about it since forever. Why are you not doing it? Okay, we want to, there are things crumbling, so it's possible that you start to notice that this balance is nothing but your own perception. It's not really in balance. If you're not happy and the other party is also not happy, this is not balance, right? The balance is already destroyed from the beginning. So if you want to go on an adventure, you're not destroying it because it's already destroyed. I think you're getting more aware about it and starting to make small steps towards freedom. But I think we really need more advice here because it's not helpful. Well, it's helpful to bring your attention to this, but it's not helpful to just say, why are you not going on an adventure? But because obviously there are blockages here. So, okay, what's the advice for you? The advice would be very important here. What's the advice for group 3 to live, like how they want to live? I think there's a fundamental fear here that you feel like you cannot achieve the empowerment you want. You cannot, there's a fear that you cannot achieve what you really want. That you will, like if you go on an adventure, for example, on this unicorn, and halfway you feel like, no, I'm so alone, I want to go home. I need to go back to the old construct because this is too scary, even though I've been wanting it since forever. So the advice coming through is telling you that you have been training this for a lifetime. So what it means is that to break into, to have a breakthrough, to become someone with full empowerment, it's not, it might feel difficult for your physical self, but your higher self is saying, you have done this for many, many lives. There are many instances, many past lives where you gain empowerment. So you have already learned this skill to go from without empowerment to empowerment, without freedom to freedom, enmeshment to freedom. You have learned this. This is your skill. It's not new. It's not a new skill, so don't worry. I'm sure you know how to do this already innately. That's what a higher self is saying. So a higher self is basically saying, we know how to do this already. You probably forget, but we actually know how to gain empowerment. We know the steps towards it. We have done this many times. There's a little bit of rebellious soul in you. Leadership as well, being different, and you're used to it. You are used to being a little bit rebellious and different, to break out from old patterns and all groups of people, that all power dynamics, all group dynamics. You always know how to break through. You have done this many times. Another card is the Great Gathering. It's all coming together, intuitive hits, soul, tribe, okay? Another message that comes is that if your inability to do this, to take steps towards this adventure, is because you don't want to lose people, you don't want to lose connections. Remember I was saying the reason that you stay committed to this connections or do what they want you to do, it's mainly because you want to maintain connections with them, right? You don't want to tip the balance, you don't want to create conflict. And the card is telling you that don't worry, these people can be let go. Why? Because there will be new people coming in. the new people who are more in tune with the real you, the adventurous you, the courageous you, the empowered you. There's a need to let go of people who are not having your best interest at heart. And that's how you make space for new people. So it's addressing your worry, actually. The advisors, they're trying to address your worriness by saying, first, you are a skilled teacher in this. You are a skilled person in gaining empowerment. You just forgot that. So you can, once you start it, it will be easy because you know it. It's not like a learning curve anymore. And secondly, there are more people who are more in tune with you that wants to come in. So don't try to hold on to people that you know are not bringing you happiness, are not in line with your next step. Okay? I think that's all I have for you, Group 3. All right, so thank you so much for listening. I post regularly on Instagram, so you may follow me there. The account name is below in the description box. And please click like and subscribe if you resonated with the message and you want to keep being updated with if I have new videos. And also, please feel free to comment below. I would love to connect with you. All right, thank you very much, Group 3. I will see you again. Bye.